This is the Beat of Sports with Marc Daniels.
Back in studio for the first time in a week.
Forgot what you look like.
Is that followed up with, hey, did you lose some weight? Huh? You work out a little bit more?
Mark, I'm not going to lie. Compared to what you looked like yesterday, you put on a little bit of weight.
What?
The stick figure.
Oh, I had to move.
Yeah, I forgot to take them off yesterday.
Stick figure from the seat. That's the stream since I've been out. But good to be back in the studio.
Good to have you back.
Yeah, it's nice. And off we go, Thursday edition of our program. I'm Marc Daniels. That's Chris Vasquez over there. You can access our show by listening at 96.9 FM, 740 AM, the iHeart app. Or you maybe downloaded the podcast, the show, and listening at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You can also watch this show. Why, I don't know. By going to our YouTube page at 96.9 The Game Orlando. Click on the 96.9 The Game icon, then the live button, and then you can access the show and watch us. The three of you that may tune in to watch us.
We already got 5.
But, as I promised yesterday.
But.
All right.
Oh, that's so great.
Look what I brought. Again, if you're on the stream, okay?
Oh.
Marshmallows. Chris Vasquez does not like marshmallows.
They're gross.
Marshmallows.
They're gross.
And
are they at least? They're not even Lucky Charms marshmallows.
Sour Patch watermelon.
Nice. Okay.
So during the show, within the show today, if you're on the YouTube stream, with gloves on, I'm going to throw and see how many Chris can catch.
I'm going to catch all of them.
But I think, but I got to come up with a reason that you have to catch the marshmallows, or I can just force you to eat marshmallows.
And I will forcefully decline.
Will you have some sort of rash reaction or something?
I'm not allergic to them or anything.
So if that doesn't make you want to tune in the stream, what else can we do? I don't know what else is possible. Hold up hotel cards and stuff like that. We want to do something like that.
I think you're kind of upsetting some people on the text line anyways. Someone said, my events aren't as elite as Daniels.
No. That's got nothing to do with it. Believe me. Nothing to do with it. Again, just to repeat. I don't even remember how we got on that topic either. The hotel credit card.
Mm-hmm.
Credit card. The hotel key card. The key card. Okay? I understand if people want to keep it if the card has an event that you've gone to. Whatever, you go to Vegas and you're going to see Metallica in concert, and if you're staying at the Venetian, they've got a Metallica look. I understand that. Like I said, I've got my key card from the first Fiesta Bowl and the Peach Bowl. But if it's just a random card that has the hotel name on it, I don't understand why you would keep that.
Well, again, I don't think people are saving hotel key cards from the budget inn on a random stay on a road trip or whatever. But if you say it like a fancy hotel, it's not something you do on a daily basis. Some people do like to keep it for a keepsake.
All right. Like I said, please invite me over to the house and go, you want to see something really cool? Yeah. Look at this. What? Ramada Inn, Buffalo, New York. Turn the page. Yeah. Red Roof Inn, San Diego.
Do you have anything obscure that you collect?
Obscure? My whole life is obscure. What now?
Do you have anything like a hotel room key?
I just showed you the two that I have a Blockbuster card.
I'm saying, do you have anything like that other people may find odd that you collect?
I have no collection.
Okay.
No.
Well, I have baseball cards.
But that's not weird. I mean, it's weird if you go, yeah, here's my baseball card collection. And what's unique? Everybody here has a lifetime batting average under 200. That's kind of cool to me.
The fact that you could point that out, that would be unique.
So the hotel key thing's out there. On our program today, Cam Mellor stops by, weekly football visit. The combine's underway.
What if I kept unique beer cans and beer bottles, because of the labels?
I don't find that odd.
Okay. I don't, but I should have kept a model of
If
consistency.
I can give you. I kept some.
Nice.
Now, if you said, "Hey, can I show you my beer collection?" I walk in and it's just 800 Michelob Light cans.
Don't ever insult me like that again.
But like it's just a basic beer, and I'm like, yeah. You'd be like, no, but if you had like 40, 50 different because the artwork or where they came from,
No, I've had a beer with oysters and mushrooms in it. Actually, it wasn't bad.
but I mean the can. If you kept the can,
I didn't.
no, but
no,
but
I
that's
know what you're
not
saying.
odd.
Okay.
You know, like, hey, check this out. It's a Budweiser can, right? How about this one? It's a Mick Light can. How about this? It's a random Corona bottle. That's odd, okay? That's just weird. That's just weird. Yeah. Text in your favorite weird collection and let Mark and Chris decide just how weird it is. Yeah.
I'm kind of intrigued now.
All right, there you go. And if you want to make it up, how am I going to know if you're telling the truth or not? Yeah. Cam Miller is going to join us. Evan Weston, our good friend, who's not Evan, Big Apple soccer guy. I'm so happy for Evan. He's a great guy. He's done Orlando City for many years. Now is part of the Apple crew that does MLS soccer. So we'll talk to Evan a little bit later in the program. History lesson today. You'll like it. And I think you're part of a group, which I was once a part of, that had a different view of the story. Until then you learn about the background. You're like, oh, wow, didn't know that.
Okay.
It's a good tease.
I like it.
It's a good tease. That'll be coming up a little bit later. Listener emails on the way.
Yes.
2 very interesting listener email questions.
So excited.
I was teasing earlier. I told Kelly off air, and I'll give you the title of one: Big Biter.
I have
Big Biter.
a few things already going through my mind.
Big Biter. Yeah. Magic are back in action tonight. Take on the Houston Rockets. Begins a 4-game homestand. And 6-2 last 8. 3-1 there in that West Coast trip coming out of the All-Star break. We'll have that game for you a little bit later on tonight. So we'll do a little basketball and a bunch of other interesting stuff on the program. First, everybody's favorite segment.
It's almost like an unwritten rule that when you become a father, you become king of the bad dad jokes.
What is Forrest Gump's password? 1 Forrest 1.
Are you ready to laugh? We know at least one person is. Here's CB's dad joke of the day.
Oh, that's so great.
Mark, I know you're just going to roll your eyes at this one, but it's going to be so great. Are you ready?
Yep.
What is the leading cause of dry skin?
I don't know, Chris. What is a leading cause of dry skin?
Towels.
He was right. Wow. Before we get to listener email, can I play you a clip?
Please do.
Tim Hardaway Jr. Nuggets and Celtics last night goes in for his press availability. Can I play the entire interview?
Go for it.
All right, here we go. As he walks into the room.
Is anyone back there?
All right. You have a great evening.
That's it. No questions. There was nobody in there.
Wow.
He goes in and sits down, right? And there's a person running the camera in the back. And anybody a question? No. Anyone back there? All right. That's it. He's done.
Take him
I'm
as you
not
get
picking
him.
on Hardaway Jr. I feel bad for the guys. Like, who told him to go in there if there was no one to ask questions?
Maybe they were playing a prank on him.
No.
Wow.
So
Can I get
there's the entire clip. Yeah. What? Oh, sorry.
get to a couple of texts
Back
here real
in
quick?
studio banging stuff all over the place. Yeah.
Someone says, I have a collection of sealed Coca-Cola bottles in my man cave. Talking about like unique things that people keep. About 15 of them.
Of the glass bottles.
About 15 of them
Not
are from
odd.
the 1993 Marlins inaugural seasons,
Yeah.
some Super Bowl ones, and others.
I have it's somewhere in my garage. I have a Florida Gator when I was a student bottle that had the logo on there. And then I have a UCF one. And I have one from when we did an event at the Coke Center in Atlanta. So, no, that's not odd. That
So-
one's not odd.
I do have, it's a Bud Light can, but it's a Dallas Cowboy Bud Light can. Even though the Cowboys are Miller Lite, there was a Bud Light can made with the Dallas Cowboys logo
One
on there.
can?
One can. Actually,
Yeah.
my mom had it, so I kept it. And then I also have a Coke bottle that's got my daughter's name on it.
Okay, it's not a collection, but that's fine. All right.
And then someone finds it odd that I don't like marshmallows,
It's
but
incredible.
Lucky Charms are my favorite cereal.
I'm going to get to Lucky Charms a little bit later because I want to do a couple of listener emails. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Couple listener emails. You want Big Bite Guy or the other one? You want to tease with the other one? I'll
No,
give you both.
Let's go to the other one first. We'll say Big Biter for last.
So, okay. I get a call one day from a friend of mine. I'm kind of fast forwarding. I get a call one day from a friend of mine that he literally has to leave in the next couple of days to take a new job outside of Chicago. And it says, I got to get out of town as quick as possible because I have to start this job and I'm going to have my stuff moved. I need you to do me a favor. I guess the guy lived in an apartment and he had a storage
Storage unit?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he says, would you mind over the course of the next several weeks of going through some stuff, save some stuff for me and throw some stuff out? And he said, I'll compensate you for it. So the
Okay.
emailer says, no problem. So over the course of 4 weeks, he goes through the storage unit and saves some stuff and throws out some stuff, always taking pictures and saying what to say. It was no big deal. Had a couple of hours in the weekend, did it, and thought nothing of it. A couple of the things he asked to keep or to give to a friend. Okay. Fast forward and 4 years goes by.
Mhm.
The guy still has his job up outside of Chicago, and 4 years goes by. He gets a call from another mutual friend of theirs and says, hey, I don't want to give the guy's name. Let's just make up a name. Paul's coming to town and wants to know if you'd like to play golf this coming weekend. Just so happens my wife was at an event with friends. It was perfect. Hadn't caught up in a while. Look forward to seeing it. So 4 of us go meet and get in a round of golf. It doesn't happen until the 4th tee when Paul says, hey, are those my clubs from years ago? The reality is it was his golf clubs years ago, but he never asked them to be shipped, and they sat in my garage for quite some time until one day, I don't know when, a couple years ago, I took the golf clubs out to the driving range. We're about the same size, about the same physical makeup. I don't play golf that often, so having a specific set of golf clubs has never been a big deal for me. I just started using his clubs. I said, they probably are. He goes, yeah, I think they are. After the round and after a bite to eat, he asked for them back. The question is, how long can you hold on to something for somebody before they have a right to ask for it back?
This is a good one.
4+ years.
4+ years. He never would have known about them had he not seen them, right? That's kind of what I'm getting here.
Well, again, hey, can you clean out my storage unit? Some stuff, I'm gonna have someone send it. Can you hold on to some things? Throw out. He paid the guy. I don't know what he paid him. He said he spent about a month, couple of hours a week into doing it. A set of golf clubs, I guess our guy took and put it in his garage. Sounds like he doesn't play every single week. Maybe he gets out once in a while. No big deal to have a specific set of clubs. And he started using the guy's golf clubs for the few times that he played. And just so happened the guy's like, aren't those my golf clubs? Yeah. He wants them back.
Yeah, if this guy's already got a new set of golf clubs.
Right. So the question is, how long can you hold on to something for somebody before they no longer have the right to ask for it back?
What
do you think here?
This is tricky because golf clubs are expensive.
I don't know how old the golf clubs are. I have no idea what they're worth. And I would think if it's a very valuable set of clubs, that's one of the items out of the storage unit you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess my whole thing is, if you never asked for, like, we don't know if the guy asked the friend to hold on to them or if the friend just willy-nilly held on to them.
Yeah, it's a little bit gray. He just says there's some items that he said so-and-so is going to send off. Could you hold on a few things for me? What I don't know is the few things that he asked for them at some point, whatever, but all I know is the golf club. So to me, 4 years, way too long to claim that you have ownership of it. Like,
There's
sorry.
Statute of limitations.
Well, that's the question. If it's 3 months, yeah, I think the guy's got a right.
Yeah.
If it's a year, maybe 4 years, no way.
Yeah.
There's no way the guy still has a right to.
Yeah, at that point, no. I'd agree with you. I think about a year. Anything after that, you're just kind of no.
And let's say it's 18 months, and the guy goes, "Wait a minute, I think I left my golf clubs," and he calls you and says, "Hey, are my golf clubs there?" Even then, but he didn't initiate the call. He only saw the clubs when you had them.
Point. That's my point.
So to me, he
out. Lost. Yeah.
Right?
No, don't give him back.
50857 on the text line. If you
guy lives in Chicago, so you can always make another friend.
Well, he did say it strained the relationship a little bit because he says it did get a little contentious when I said it's been 4 years. He's like, it doesn't matter. They're my clubs.
One, I'm assuming since you guys went golfing, you've got your own new set of clubs now. You never asked for them in the 4 years. So, I mean, what do you expect him to do?
Even like a car or a set of golf clubs, if it's that important, I don't think I'd forget it. Hey, you know what? I think I left my Ford truck with Bob back in Orlando 4 years ago. Wow, it just came to me.
No, he's lost the golf clubs.
The guy's pretty adamant that he wants them back.
Sorry. SOL. You got your own golf clubs now. Let your friend have
guys
them.
like having multiple sets of clubs. Would you send the golf clubs back, or does the guy have the right to keep the clubs after 4 years? 4 years.
One, I think the sender of the email has a right to keep the clubs. And two, if he does want to send them back, homeboy's paying for shipping and everything.
I don't think he wants to send them back.
Then don't.
10 o'clock hour, WYGM Orlando, WJR HD2 Cocoa Beach. Yeah, I just think the period of time, it's a major factor. 4 years. And he only recognized it because you brought the clubs to the round of golf.
Exactly.
And I just, by the way, the listener with the email, I don't think it was like, man, let me really tick off the made-up namer, Paul, by bringing his clubs. I just think he may have forgotten, like, hey, these are the clubs I've been using. I'll bring the golf clubs.
Yeah, he's fine. Keep them. Don't send them. And again,
I want him back.
If it's that big of a deal and the friend's willing to end the friendship over it, make a new friend.
Interesting one. All right, big biter?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Big biter. All right. Mark, I've heard you talk before about this particular topic of people that order food and for whatever reason may send it back, and that the portion size and the amount eaten plays a factor in it. Well, I was recently accused of something that I didn't recognize that I guess I do because a couple of my friends say that is me. We were out at, I don't need to say the place, but it's like a casual dining chain. Okay. And did you just sniff on there?
My-
I ordered the standard burger and fries. Really simple. I was asked before how I wanted the burger cooked.
Okay.
I tend to like my meat more on the medium well side. I don't like undercooked meat. Okay. Burger comes out, fries come out, and everybody's at the table got their food. Okay. After starting with some of the fries, I then took a bite into the burger. It was a little too runny and juicy for me. And then I took a second bite and I said, this is just too rare. I asked the waitress if I could possibly have a different burger. And she said, I'll have to ask my manager to come by and talk to you. The manager came by and said that my bites apparently are too big and more than half the burger has been eaten. And therefore, if I want another burger, they would charge me. And then he pointed out, which my friend started laughing, is that as he approached, he saw me take a handful of fries and says, I'm a big eater and I've eaten too much of the portion to bring back. So our guy, big biter, doesn't take small, big biter, took the second bite. This is a big bite.
Yeah, if you're
Hold on, I'll tell you where. Okay, so that's not a fast food. I just told Chris where it's at. That's not a fast food. A little bit bigger bun and burger, but apparently two bites more than half the burger, and apparently the claw version of grabbing fries and stuffing in mouth. Too big of a portion gone. Your thoughts?
Yeah, you're not getting a second burger. Like, you should have known after the first bite. You had a quarter of it in your mouth already.
Well,
how do you not
hold on.
know?
You didn't know it was a big biter till you heard. Okay.
Well, you tell me again, second bite, more than half of it's gone.
That was the manager's view. Yeah. And then he said it, well, clean up his language. His friends just thought it was funny, so they're egging the manager on like, yeah, he eats like that all the time. Big biter guy. Wow.
No, I think there is a cutoff point, and if it was too runny after the first bite, if you're a big biter, taking a massive chomp out of it, if it's too runny, you should have known right then and there. You don't need to take a second bite.
Hey, big biter, think twice here before you dive in for a second bite here right now.
No, it's like drinking half of a beer because you take big gulps. It's just too hoppy for me. I don't think I could do it. No, you just drank half of it. Now you want a free beer? No.
So he's blamed because he's big biter. Wait. Person that takes smaller bites. How much of the burger, I guess, are you okay with sending back?
It would be about 1 or 2 bites.
But it depends on your bite size. This guy's got a big jaw.
Okay, so you have a quarter of it in your mouth already. This is a very weird conversation. But a quarter of it's already gone. Like,
okay.
Act mature, Mark.
I can't. It's just not me. Let's assume you're right that his first bite, big biter, it's a quarter, okay?
Stop calling him big biter.
You're saying he's got to stop there.
Yes.
And you're okay then if 3/4 of the burger's still there to send back.
Yes. He took 1 bite.
Yeah.
That I can live with.
Right. He does acknowledge he's a big biter, and he does acknowledge he eats fries with
Okay, the fries don't bother me because he's not asking for more fries. He just wants another burger.
Probably.
So the fries don't bother me.
But the second bite's what's a hard pass.
Yes. Because more than half of it's gone.
Have you ever seen I can't recall, maybe it's happened, where they've denied you because of how much you've eaten? Now, a person that, for example, has a steak, potatoes, another side, and you're down to like 1/8 of the steak, that's just an idiot. Okay, if you're asking for another one, you can say, "Hey, that was not good," and maybe you're trying to get them to take it off the bill. But
So
I,
actually, I was at
it's a gutsy move with a manager. Like, "Hey, you've eaten too much."
I was actually at a restaurant. This was probably a couple months ago, and I ordered the teriyaki boneless wings. And when the wings came out, took a bite, and they were just rock solid hard. Like they were not cooked
Yeah.
correctly.
Okay.
I think there was 6 or 7 boneless wings on my plate.
Yeah.
I ate one. Okay, maybe it's
So you tried
maybe
a
it's just one.
second.
I tried a second one.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I can't do it. Called for the server. She apologized and she brought me out another.
Right, but that's just good customer service. And I'm guessing the size of what really is a chicken nugget. Did you eat the whole one? Did you put the whole thing in your mouth, or did you take a bite out of it?
Well, I'm big biter.
Oh,
big biter. I
wait,
picked the
you're a
whole
big
thing.
biter?
I'm big biter.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
a big biter.
Well, but they did the smart thing.
Yeah, but I left the majority of the wings
Yeah.
or the nuggets
Yeah.
on my plate.
Apparently more than half the burger was gone after 2 bites of a big biter. So, yeah.
No.
Mm.
Either take smaller bites or stop at one.
Tough
If
call
it's-
with the manager, too, to go over and, and that's why she said, I'm going to have the manager come
What
over.
say you? How much is too much to be eaten before you try and
I
send it
think
back?
if it's clearly half that you're but part of me also says, and I told you the chain, just get the guy a burger. I mean, whatever. If there's one little tiny bite left, that's a little bit too much. I don't know. I guess I'd have to see it. It's got to be a visual thing. I may go up and go, "Are you kidding me?" Like I may just bring another burger to say, "Can I watch you bite this thing?" Like, you don't mind if I bring the staff around? I just want to see how big that bite is. Yeah.
Well, see,
because he did say, by the way, our emailer, he acknowledges he's a big biter. It's not like he took 8 bites to make up half. Like he did it in 2 bites.
See, again, like, how did you not know after the first bite, though?
I don't know. Maybe he just thought it was more cheese that's dripping down and so forth. I mean, yeah, you got a point. You bite and go, "Hey, it's really too pink. I want it," And really, you're not. First off, I don't even think the restaurant in that case can put it back. Like he takes a bite, he doesn't like it, he gets another one. They're not putting
it's going in the trash.
Right. They're not putting it back on the grill. Hey, Bob took half a bite. Let's put the back on the grill. They're getting you a new one.
Yeah, at that point, you can maybe cut the burger down the middle.
No, they're not putting that back on the grill.
No, I'm saying like beforehand, before he took a bite, you can cut the burger down the middle, see if it's pink in the middle or whatever, see if there's juice coming out.
It's like to just get 2 hands and go head first, man.
I mean, I'm the same way.
Okay. You acknowledge you're a big biter. All right, here you go. All right, so the golf club story, and now you got big biter. 4 years had the clubs, guy wants him back, and he's like,
don't give him back.
How long can I hold on to something before it's no longer yours if you don't claim it? And the guy,
and again, he's only asking for the clubs back because he saw the clubs.
Correct. Yeah, he forgot about them over the course of 4 years. So big difference than asking for them. Although I still think after 4 years, it takes a lot to ask for the clubs back. Cam Mellor coming up in about 25 minutes. We'll talk to him. The NFL Combine's going on. There's always NFL news. Just a couple of days ago, we're talking to our good friend Jason Siegel, the Greater Orlando Sports Commission. I was talking to Jason Hockey about the Olympic team, but some exciting news yesterday that comes down with the Summer Olympics in 28. Jason's back to pop on quickly to talk about this. I'll give you the floor because this is potentially a really cool event, and we've talked the last couple of months and years as we get towards 28, even though LA's the host city, more and more events connected to the Olympics go outside the host city. So what is Orlando now in the hunt for? First, good morning, and share that news.
Yeah, good morning, Mark. No, really exciting. When we were in conversations with USA Track and Field 6 years ago about bringing the marathon trials to Orlando, one of the hopes was that we'd be able to build some relationships with some folks outside of the U.S. Olympic Committee and they were very kind to us, the track and field folks, and made some introductions to some folks at the IOC, the International Olympic Committee. So we had some meetings during the Paris Olympics. Those introductions were made. We've got a great consulting group that we work with out of London, Lausanne, and the conversation turned to this incredible opportunity to host 5 international qualifiers under one sport festival, which we've done, by the way, with the NCAA, but this is a whole another level, because it would be 5 sports, all of the international Olympic hopefuls coming to Orlando in May or June of 2028 to compete in their sport for the right to go straight to LA and become Olympians, and then compete for gold medals in their sport. It's 5 sports, but interestingly enough, Mark, it's 14 sets of qualifiers, because you have men's and women's in each of the 5 sports, and in climbing, there's 3 different categories. So really excited about the opportunity. It would mean the Olympic rings would be in Orlando. This is an official IOC event, International Olympic Committee event. We've hosted dozens and dozens of U.S. Olympic events here in our community, but this would make Orlando part of the LA Games, which is really exciting.
And part of these 5 different sports, if I'm reading correctly, includes 3-on-3 basketball, but also flag football, which, I mean, everyone in the NFL is throwing their support behind this and the potential of players. Am I correct that that's part of this too?
Yeah, so the 3 returning sports are climbing. We've got that great center, High Point, right in the Packing District. So there's a lot of energy there. We know we have great skateboard and BMX communities. So those are the 3 sports that are returning. This event was hosted back in Shanghai and Budapest in 24. But the 2 new sports for us, we're going to be the 3rd leg of the tour. If we're successful, we're going to host flag football, which what's going on. I mean, it's absolutely booming across the U.S. Super excited that the NFL players are going to be able to play, and also beach volleyball, which, as you know, an incredibly robust volleyball community here in Central Florida. 3v3 basketball will be on the first 2 legs of the trip, so we'll be hosting 5 out of the 6 sports here in Orlando.
All right, what's the time frame on this to hear if Orlando is getting it? And even though it's 2026, the calendar moves quickly. So what's the next step here?
Yeah, we have a bid that's due very soon. We're working hard on it, and fingers crossed, hopefully we have some great news this summer.
It'll be really interesting, and I know you're excited about all this stuff, and it'd be awesome to get the rings here in the competition that you're talking about. People can learn more about this. Go to Great Orlando Sports a website and look this up, and it would be awesome. I know that there's other things going on that you've shared in some that you're still working on. There's a whole number of Olympic activities that I know you're pursuing, and to share with people and ask it, because as I said, and we just watched the Winter Olympics, that really were in like 4 different main cities. I mean, we had Milan as a host there, but it seems to be more the pattern that, we got a host city, but events going outside that host city is becoming a lot more common now, right?
Very much so. I think that, to build excitement leading into the games, especially in, emerging sports like these, right? Flag is new, BMX, skate, and climbing are relatively new. So we can play our part, in creating this, urban footprint, this, festival atmosphere at Camping World Stadium, in an effort to be part of, this is going to be internationally televised. So beauty shots and great opportunity to promote our marketplace, and really proud of, our leadership in this community, the investment that we've made in our infrastructure, in our venues, our ability to have extra dollars to put towards incentives to be able to win the bids on these projects. It's because of the stratosphere that our community is operating in right now, because of all the great work of our tourism community, our elected officials, our venue management team, Alan Johnson and Craig Borkin a Camping World Stadium. It's because of all of them that we're in this position to be even having conversations about, this type of event. Obviously, we're bidding on the NBA All-Star right now, working on WrestleMania, Rugby World Cups, the Women's FIFA World Cup. It's exciting.
You can check out more. Go to greaterorlandosports.com. This is an unfair question. You ready?
I'm ready.
If tomorrow you were called and said, could you host a World Cup match? Could you do it?
I love that. That's a great question, Mark. But I don't think we're getting that call.
Okay. I mean, I keep up with current events. I know that people wonder about some things that may happen. I hope all is well and that as planned it goes forward. But if something had to lead to a schedule change, they're not likely to add games to existing host cities, so they have to go back and take a look. And I'd be curious, and you could pull it off if you needed to, but we'll leave that for another day.
Yeah. The good news is the collaborative community that we are in Orlando, we can do big things here.
Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mark.
Cam Miller talks football in about 15 minutes. We got more of the Beat of Sports coming up. Be sure to check us out on the stream at YouTube. Go to youtube.com and on 96.9 The Game Orlando, the icon and the live connection. And what?
Sorry, if I'm not mistaken, I believe we have our first trade of the NFL offseason between the Jets
and what do I need to know?
The Titans.
Should I tease it? Is it big, or are you going to let me down here? What do you got? What is it?
It is Jermaine Johnson going to Tennessee for Tavondre Sweat. A rare player-for-player deal in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't tease that. Hold on. More of the Beat of Sports next. Can't be caught eating grapes on the video stream.
I scarfed down a cookie.
Better be careful now. That slab of ribs I was going to have during the Cam Miller segment. I guess I can't. Turn the camera off for that, you know. You said got a few texts before I get to the next thing.
Yes, we got texts. First, let me get to the stream. So we were talking about golf clubs and if there's essentially like a statute of limitations on how long someone can hold something.
Yeah.
Before.
Yeah. Quickly,
lose
they
it.
missed it. One of the email questions of the week is a friend of his asked to pick up and move to Chicago area quick as possible. And he asked our listener, hey, I got to clean out a storage unit. Take your time. He pays him to do it. Takes him about a month to do it. Send some items to this person, going to send him back. And can you keep some stuff? 4 years goes by. And among the items that our emailer kept were golf clubs that the guy never asked for. Now they're playing a round of golf recently. And it's like, hey, aren't those my clubs? And he wants them back after 4 years.
All right. So on the stream, they're his clubs. Give them back.
Oh, wow.
Moving over to the text line 50857. What are we even arguing over? Grown men with golf clubs? Give him his clubs back and go out and buy your own pair.
Wow.
Obviously, neither of them golf enough for it to matter. 4 years, clubs are the person who was holding them, but the friendship is pretty much over.
Mm.
The one dude held a grudge for having to pay his buddy to clean things out.
No. Well, he paid him. He said, hey, I'll pay you to help clean the storage.
Well, that's what he's saying. He held a grudge for having to pay.
Oh. Well, he offered to pay the guy.
He can give the clubs back, but he needs to charge him a holding fee for keeping them in his garage.
What's the holding? I'll give your clubs back. Yeah, 4 years, $12,000.
Someone said charge him for the 4.5 years of storage. Are you serious? Give the clubs back. They're not yours. I don't care how long you've been using them.
I'm really surprised how many people are just like, give the clubs back.
And then now moving over to Big Biter.
Big Biter.
Restaurant should offer to cook the remainder of the burger some more.
I don't think
you're not putting that on the grill. You're not putting that on the grill.
I don't think
it's not sanitary.
I mean, you could, but I'm not quite sure you're supposed to do that.
It's not sanitary.
Yeah.
It's gross. I recently started cutting my burgers in half. Haven't had an issue since.
Well, that makes sense, but yeah.
Big Biter has to be less than half to send it back.
Has to be less.
My point.
Yeah.
Half.
But the manager comes out and he's got like a measuring. I don't know, man. I think it's 52% eaten.
Half or more, you have to stick with it. And then someone wants to get your opinion on something kind of off topic. I was at a restaurant for my birthday and the server brought me out a dessert and then charged me on the bill even though I didn't order it.
No. If they bring you out the dessert, you have every right to eat it. And if they say, well, you're paying for it, I didn't ask for it. Well, you ate it. So what? You can bring me free bread. I'm not, No.
So that's what we got right now between the stream and the text line.
Do you know who is, I want to make sure I have the, the highest ranked, and Jason Siegel on before about this Olympic festival, which would be really cool to get, the flag football. You know, it's the highest ranked flag football quarterback in America.
Yes, and I just saw this too.
Rajon Rondo.
Yep.
That guy.
Yep.
Not like same name. No, that guy is the number one ranked flag football quarterback. Like real ranking based on playing teams that he's on compared to others. Because I don't know if he was the highest ranked, but and I had this guy on the show a couple of years ago when they announced that flag football was coming to the Olympics in Florida, like one of the top QBs in Florida. And I argued at the time, and I would argue again. NFL players want to play, not all, want to play in flag football. We likely will not send our best flag football players to the Olympics if that's what the NFL and the USOC, the U.S. Olympic Committee, decides. And you go, what are you talking about? Wouldn't you rather have Patrick Mahomes on the foot? I want the best flag football players. If you just want it to be famous players, that's one thing. But if you want to medal, the NFL guys are not the best flag football players to play.
So this kind of comes down to you talked about Tarek Skubal saying he'd only want to make one start, and some of these guys not caring about representing the U.S. Some of these NFL players do want to represent.
Wait. I'm sorry, though. Bad example. Because Skubal is arguably the best pitcher, and he's not asked to do anything different. It's one thing to go, I want you to play fast pitch softball. That's not what he does. He plays baseball. You can recognize, while there are some basics that are similar, the flag football game is significantly different than NFL football. And by the way, the flag football in the Olympics is significantly different than the crap you watch for the Pro Bowl games.
But NFL players want to be able to represent their country, but there's no way for them to do that because there's no football in the Olympics.
Yeah, and go on.
So I know you always say life's not fair, but they want to be able to represent their
can
country.
I ask you a question then? Would I be wrong in saying, fine, I got it. It's 2026. Start playing flag football like we play so that we then can make a determination that these are the best players. Because if you watch highest level flag football, it's a different game. Who's the best wide receiver in the NFL?
Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson.
And I'm not saying that they wouldn't be unstoppable, but there's other aspects of the flag football game that NFL guys are not going to be the best at. And you're saying, Mark, you're trying to tell me that Joe Burrow's not better than Rajon Rondo. What sport? Flag football. I don't know. Because one's playing it, one's not. Clear difference.
I would say I have a tryout.
Yeah. Justin Jefferson and Joe Burrow are going to try out. There's no way we're doing that.
So Justin Jefferson and Joe Burrow are going to drop the NFL to play flag football?
You got an off season? You got an off season, man.
Why would they just not try out?
You're okay. First off, the ego of them, they're not going to try out.
So again, ego's going to have them play flag football.
Well, then maybe you're
agreeing
agreeing with me. Do you believe we should take the best flag football players? Okay. Do you believe that the NFL and the U.S. Olympic Committee also see a marketing opportunity because the NFL is throwing so much money behind flag football? Mm-hmm. I'm not telling you that if you took NFL guys that they can't win. I just have heard from people that have played at the highest level of flag football, it doesn't translate. It doesn't translate. Just like the best NFL players are not going to excel at arena football because it's completely different. Just like arena guys are not going to be good at it translates, but not the same level. In flag football, who's going to watch more? If NFL, of course you're going to watch if NFL guys are playing versus Rajon Rondo throwing to Tim Smith. But Rajon Rondo, and I don't even know if Rajon Rondo would be the quarterback then, but Tim Smith, he's played 10 years. You'd be like, well, I don't know who that guy is. Is it about winning gold or is it about just, hey, I know that guy?
I mean, do a lot of people know a lot of the Americans that are performing in some of these events?
No, but at our sports where we can have pros play, we like that. We like that a lot more. Cam Miller on the actual football and the combine underway and all that stuff next.
This segment is presented by Bowegan's Beer Company. Love data? Love analytics? Let's take a deeper dive into both as we talk to Cam Mellor.
What you know is very limited, and what you don't know is limitless.
The Chief Analytics and Data Officer at Pro Football Network. You can follow Cam on X or Twitter at Cam Mellor.
All right, talk football these Thursdays, and Cam Mellor is with us. Happy Combine. How are you?
Combine. The best day to overreact to measurements and the Underwear Olympics. But there's some things to glean and some things to learn from the Combine. So I don't want to diminish it. It's a great time.
Can I name drop and see if you're impressed?
Absolutely.
Always
ready for that.
Got a text at 4:50 from NFL Network's Charles Davis. What do you think about that?
I mean, you're living the dream that I want to live. So, I do strive to be just like you.
Let me jump into a few things. I will ask you a couple of Combine things, but first, as I do follow you on X or Twitter and encourage people to do so, your grade on returning quarterbacks, I go down. The guy at Texas is not among those that are returning as far as the grades that he got last year, and Arch Manning.
Yeah, no, not there. I think I did break it down in quarters of seasons as well.
Yep.
What we saw from Arch Manning in the first half really tanked what was his overall season grade. I think we do like what we saw, the growth. And so that's where encapsulating a full season is going to be difficult for him because of the highs and the lows that he saw. But the last 4-game stretch for him, even if he's playing a shell of the Michigan defense, it was still very sharp and very promising for his future prognosis. The analytics tell the story of what happened, and then you have to take the scout eye, so to speak, and sort of project. So I do think Arch Manning is a top 10 quarterback entering the season this year in terms of where we will project him to be at the end of the year. Didn't quite grade out, though. So he needs the consistent play, as anybody who watched him last year would know.
Is Mayava that clear of others?
I mean,
for those that don't know, USC quarterback, yeah.
Jaden Maivia, yeah. So his time, I mean, he took over when he was at UNLV, a Brennan Marion product, who's now the offense coordinator at Colorado after a year at Sacramento State. But he had Jaden Maivia, and I think that's really what set the precedent for him. He has advanced footwork, incredibly talented with his arm. He makes some of those throws that you looked at and you're saying, wow, why would he even make that decision? But then it's complete. And I mean, he put the ball in places for Mekhi Lemon and those receivers to make those plays that he trusts these guys. There's an inherent trust in his own arm and his athletic ability. But yeah, I mean, to be that clear, I think what he did at USC, it helps Lincoln Riley, obviously the QB guru, but what he did last year sort of went under the radar somehow and undone by a pretty terrible defense, which seems to be the normal cause there at USC.
You've explained your position to a degree about the Combine, but why are more coaches and even some GMs openly saying, I don't need to go?
I mean, I think the access gap is shrinking, obviously, for how quickly we're getting the information and data from social media. And I mean, they're beating even digital media on social. And it's the 30 workouts that they have with these prospects probably tell them a lot more. I'm interested to know why they don't go, because there is time to meet with them, even in an off the cuff meeting that you might learn something you might not in a formal interview. And so I do think it is an incredibly valuable part of the puzzle for these draft prospects, but to me, it is still a confirmational thing. We know what these guys are. Them running in their boxers is not necessarily going to change how I feel about them unless they're incredibly sluggish, but then there's probably a reason for why they ran slow, or even if they ran faster, maybe that's the only way we can go. But it's confirmation. It is surprising, though, because I would love to go. If I'm a GM, I'm needed to talk to these guys as much as I can.
All right, but I'm going to ask today's D linemen and linebackers. There has to be a few intriguing names to you, and maybe some of those G5 and non P4 names. So give me a couple things that are of interest today as they begin workouts.
Yeah, I mean the first one is Caleb Banks. Obviously, when you defensive tackle from Florida, when you have that size and the questions we have about him, this is where we want to confirm that he's healthy. It goes to the medicals, but go through whatever he's going to go through, speak with them, with teams, with GMs, with coaches, just sort of discuss where you are in his rehab, but also maybe what he's been able to produce with on the field workouts for him. I mean, obviously he made waves with his quote yesterday at the podium. That's not safe for work, so we won't go into that one, but he is, to measure what he measured, to have the size that he has, the tenacity, and then seeing him on the field. And then to me, honestly, the biggest name from the smaller schools that I want to watch right now is Landon Robinson from Navy. He's sort of that unique in between, almost too small. What he needs to do really well in the workouts and in the other 66%, which is off the field. But yeah, Caleb Banks to me is the pinnacle of who we're watching today.
Was reading about a few different positions and players. Jermon McCoy is the kid at Tennessee, coming back from an ACL. Apparently, will not work out of the combine. Where's he rank? And if he didn't get hurt, where he would rank?
I think he'd be the clear number one cornerback in this class. The injury does concern because you always want to, you throw the asterisks like, will he be back to where he was before? And in that 2024 season, did he really show us enough because he didn't play? And so he's not quite in that Caleb Banks conversation, or Caleb Banks isn't quite there because we did see a little bit of him this year. Whereas McCoy, I mean, we're all based on complete projection here. He was probably the CB1 before Mansour Delaney had his breakout this season. And so to me, I think it's right now they're 15 and 16 on the board. Delaney at cornerback 1 and McCoy at cornerback 2, but they're interchangeable. I would have loved to have been able to see McCoy working out, but as long as he can answer those injury questions and sort of give the timeline of when he'll be ready, if he's ready for summer camp, that's the big one here.
I don't know if you know the answer to this because it's some of the stuff that you're talking about that, is on film, but maybe not. Is there a workout warrior here that you're just like, hey, I won't be shocked if his numbers are off the chart, but I got to weigh what I see on film, and there's a gap between the two?
So Brendan Thompson, I believe, is everybody's dandy. So we're not talking about today. This is the one that I can go to with the film. Maybe doesn't match what he's going to do on tape or on the field this weekend. Is wide receiver for Mississippi State. We didn't quite get to see him enough in that system, and with the quarterback issues that were going on and how badly that team it wasn't run well on offense this season. But Brendan Thompson has a chance to run to the 4.18, 4.19 range is what they're saying. And so for him, you want to maybe vault him up John Ross style to the top of the board in round 1, but then you have to match that tape. And where does he land in between there? I still think he's a solid day 2 kid because he can't coach speed. But to me, he's that guy that the tape's not going to match what he produces on the field this weekend in Indianapolis.
Does it, like for Jeremiah Love, does it matter if it's 4.52 versus 4.46? Does that matter to these guys?
To me, I would say no, and to them probably no. It's when you have that patience, that burst, and that it sounds like a colloquial statement. When you have football speed that he has, I don't care what he runs in a straight line, because how many times is he going to be running in a straight line? If he's running in a straight line down the field, it's because he's already made 11 guys miss at that point, basically. And so to me, no, 4 very differences. The only thing that would be concerning, I think, is if you hit like a 4.7, a 4.8 for him, because then you do worry about top end speed. But no, for Love, it shouldn't diminish his draft stock in between those.
Jordan Tyson's really good. Never played a healthy full season of college football. How much does that matter?
To me, it matters. I mean, we're looking at the NFL wanting to go to as many games as they humanly possibly they can. And so how many games are you going to get Jordan Tyson in an NFL season when he's playing against NFL caliber defensive backs, which he hardly did and still didn't, field a full 12-game season, as you mentioned. So to me, he's as talented as this receiving core gets in this draft class. It's just a matter of how much do you weigh. Do you want 12 solid games of Jordan Tyson, or do you want to get someone like a Mekhi Lemon or a Casey Conception who had drops but also could have and does play with a much more non-injured body, non-injured riddled season? So Tyson has the highs though that you're going to go for, and to me, he's a top 10 kind of pick.
What for Diego Pavia? What's the best case scenario of the next few days?
That's an interesting one. I want to say he runs fast and he doesn't have to pay $1,000 in a bet to Johnny Manziel, if that's real. So hopefully he runs fast, and maybe he just pays $1,000 to charity, I believe is what we're doing. So
yeah.
For him though, he needs to shake that negative taste that everyone was left in his mouth after his performance as the Vanderbilt season came to an end. I think he needs to be in these rooms and he needs to be a consummate professional. He's been around long enough. You want him to be as mature as they come in this class. You think he should be or would have been, but he really proved he was not. And so it's going to be things for Diego Pavia he needs to have worked on and win for this week. It's things that we're not going to see on TV or we're not going to hear about because they're going to be in those closed door meetings. He needs to prove that he's a leader of a team and a team or a player that someone can rely on as a backup quarterback and to be pressed into duty if necessary.
Maybe there's an injury theme today. Is there anybody else that I'm sure you know of that missed the entire season that the NFL still thinks highly of, that the next few days can kind of reposition themselves? Anybody sit out the year that's in Indy this week?
I can't think off the top of my head besides Jerome McCoy and Caleb Banks. Off the top of my head, no, it's those two, because of also how high we're talking about drafting them too. I think there's probably a few more off the top of my head, can't come up with them. But to me, I mean, that's the antithesis of this weekend, is that we need to figure out, and we're confirming what we know of these players based on, what did agents say? What have agents said? Now let's get in front of these kids and talk to them. So the weekend, honestly, is probably more important for those two players than whoever else is coming off of an injury as well, because you have to confirm where you are in your recovery, confirm the injuries themselves. The medicals are a huge part of it. And if you can actually participate on the field too, obviously that's a big one for these guys. But no, those two, Jerome McCoy and Caleb Banks, are the two biggest.
Am I correct that every NFL team gets X number of interviews? You can't do unlimited interviews here, right?
Correct. I mean, it's a certain number there, the 30 workouts that they get, right? And then, but you can absolutely, I'm sure, bend the rules. I've seen, maybe you're not talking to the player themselves, but if they're in the hallway and you're watching, them throw balls across the Grand Hyatt floor that made waves, you're still doing these things and passing. And I mean, there's no, at restaurants, if you're at St. Elmo's, you've got Harry Nancy's downtown Indianapolis, there's no stopping you. But it's a big weekend for these communication and quote networking for these guys as well.
Well, I read somebody, and I know people that cover Miami, and still some people that work inside there, that with Ruben Bain, his people have gone out of the way to say, Ruben, we got to do some interviews because we need to make sure people see who you are, this nice smiling guy, because there was a perception of this football savant, kept his own notebook, and then you get some viral stuff where he's using some not safe for work language, that it was a mission of their team to go, we got to make sure NFL people see that you're serious and can handle the interview process. And as we've talked over the years, you think you're going to spend $10-50 million on guys, you better make sure they're going to represent you well.
Yeah, I mean, we go back to, what was it, 2015 and Cam Newton, right? He was told he couldn't cut his hair, or he had to cut his hair, no tattoos. And we're not at that point anymore, but we are absolutely in that way when you're talking about these 32 first-round picks, that they're the face of the franchise. Maybe not quite as much as the quarterback's going to be, but you're going to be tied to that franchise for the next 4 to 5 years, and they're going to be investing the $50 million into you. I mean, you have to vet them, so to speak, more so than probably most job interviews across this entire country, across the world. And so for him, there is a little bit of damage control, but I mean, if you call him football guy, it's going to take, just one decision maker in one of those rooms, probably in, those top 5 picks, to pull the trigger on him, because it's what's on tape absolutely matches who he is as a quote football guy. It's maybe those not safe for work things are a little unsavory, but it's the culture that you can shift them into, maybe, a professional atmosphere. But yeah, no, I mean, it's important for him. It's important for a lot of the other guys too that have some of those character concerns.
Last one. Do we have any position changers? Guys that are working on a different position than you know of?
Not that I know of, but I do think that there's an interest to me. Where does Akeem Mesidor wind up sitting, the defensive end, edge defender for Miami, but played defensive tackle when he was at West Virginia? Can he, maybe not working out at both, but is he going to be a guy that slides in? He's a little bit too big for an edge. And then Landon Robinson as well, too small for a defensive tackle, but he needs to kick out the edge. Is he fast enough? So I think we'll probably see a few of them. I believe there's a tight end, wide receiver tight end set as well. I forget the name off the top of my head. So no, it's not a big one that I can remember off the top of my head. Like, we've got a couple of guys in the past previous classes. So it's unique for those two on the edge, or the defensive line. Check
his workout on extra Twitter at Cam Miller. Then you get the links, everything. We got grades from guys from last year, this upcoming season, returning players, and all sorts of draft stuff. And the website's got all sorts of fun things as well. Thank you. Appreciate it. Talk to you next week.
My pleasure, Mark. Thanks.
Busy 11 o'clock hour, including a show within the show if you're on the YouTube stream, where we encourage you to also go. You can get there by going to Twitter, click it on as well. You can watch the video in the 11 o'clock hour. I'll be throwing marshmallows at Chris.
Throwing them at me?
Well, see how many you can catch. Chris doesn't like marshmallows.
I don't.
So I'm going to be throwing marshmallows. And I think what I'm going to do is, because you like the...
Love Sour Patch Kids.
Right. So I think for every marshmallow you catch, you get X number of the Sour Patch. So, yeah. And you have to swallow the mushroom. I mean, the marshmallow.
You won't catch me doing that with a mushroom.
Oh, that's for a future date. Now that I know you don't like those. Yeah.
I don't do veggies.
Yeah. So
no veggies.
Watch Chris try to catch marshmallows and eat them. And again, where else can you get entertainment like this to beg you to watch the stream, huh? I mean, what else do I got to do? You know, outside of giving away cash, that's I'm begging you to do that. All right. The 11 o'clock hour kicks off next with the news.
Let's really do the news.
Yes. Now it is time to do the news.
But now it's time for the news.
11 o'clock hour, WYGM Orlando, WJR HD2 Cocoa Beach, Orlando Sports Leader. Marc Daniels, Speed of Sports. Chris Vasquez is over there. Magic back in action tonight. They'll take on the Houston Rockets. You'll hear that game on the station. Tips set for 7:30. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock. Magic back home after the 4-game West Coast road trip. Won 3 of 4, including that thrilling game against the Lakers on Tuesday. Again, tip time is set for 7:30. By the way, speaking of the NBA, Chris, you might be familiar. Jonte Porter was banned from the NBA for his gambling involvement. He is signed to play in the USBL, the United States Basketball League. He'll be playing for the Seattle Superhawks.
Are you sure you can trust him?
First off, I didn't even know the USBL was back in its 4th version. And do you promote that? Tonight, banned from the NBA, Jonte Porter and the Superhawks in action. Speaking of action, he's got some of the game tonight. I mean, wow.
Well, I guess good for him for still sticking with it.
College basketball, I don't know if anybody's hotter than the Florida Gators right now. They win 84-71, beating Texas last night. The Gators 13-2, sit atop the SEC and playing at a really high level right now. Last night, 6th-ranked UConn beat 15th-ranked St. John's 72-40. St. John's had 14 points in the second half, and Chris, in the final 17 and a half minutes, they were 0 for 24 from the floor. 0 for 24.
I got nothing for that.
No.
Literally nothing.
No. And let me add this, and Chris will go, see, here's the problem. Last night, I knew they were playing. There's some really good NBA games, and I knew Florida was playing Texas on ESPN2. And I go, St. John's, UConn. Okay. What channels do you think I tried?
Let's see. ESPN Plus, ESPNU.
No. If you think, big college basketball game, you're going to go to your basic ESPN, ESPN2. Yeah. Okay. Now, the idiot that I am of senseless information, I know that a Big East doesn't have a deal with ESPN. They do have a deal with Fox. So I go to FS1. Not there. I go, wow, did they put it on main Fox? Which, okay, they do Friday nights. Not on main Fox. Okay, where else might it be?
FS2?
No. I mean, you could put snails in a race on FS2. And it was on Peacock. But by the time I click, and you got to click down, and you got to click over, and it's got to sign in, and then what?
The game's over.
No, the game's there. So let's say I want to go flip back to something else. I got to click back out. I got to go back over. The arrow's got to go here, and I got to go because I'm going from streaming to this and all that stuff. Problems on me. It's okay.
Problems on college athletics and pro athletics and streaming services.
College football, Cincinnati is suing former quarterback Brendan Sorsby, who left to go to Texas Tech just because he likes Lubbock. No other reason. Or it could be the $5 to $6 million that they're going to pay him. Cincinnati is suing Sorsby for what they say is $1 million exit fee that was part of his 18-month agreement that he signed to play football at Cincinnati. And they want their $1 million. Sorsby's attorney says that they're not paying anything. And nothing is enforceable that he would have to give any of the money back to Cincinnati. Hence, we'll have maybe the next legal showdown or reach some sort of settlement.
Because why not? Something happens you don't like, I'll sue. Take them to court. It's what we do.
Jack Hughes, as other Olympians, returned to the NHL when play resumed last night in New Jersey. Hughes was honored as the player introductions took place and went out. The Devils did and lose to Buffalo 2-1. Jack Hughes, you think he did get back out there? He did. And by the way, he may have been the highest amount of ice time for any Devil player last night as the celebration for the U.S. Olympic hockey team continues. Why? Why not? Greg Stammen's the manager for the San Diego Padres and had his little media session. and was asked why Matt Waldron hasn't been in camp. Chris has heard the clip. He can't stop laughing when he hears it. And the reason why is that maybe the Padres manager gives up a little bit too much information here when answering a question about why Waldron's not in camp.
Last couple of days, had an infection in his rear end and had to have surgery to drain it and make it better. So he's been in the hospital the last couple of days.
So immature, so immature, just like the 9-year-old that, 9-year-old that can't stop passing gas and everything. You want the full clip from him? Because you only hear like 13 seconds of it.
No, the 13
Matt
seconds of the best.
Waldron, maybe noticed he hasn't been here the last couple of days, had an infection in his rear end and had to have surgery to drain it and make it better. So he's been in the hospital the last couple of days.
As you're laughing.
Hopefully discharged here pretty soon, but all good. But he'll be out kind of week to week,
Kind of cheek to cheek.
depending on how that incision heals and how he's feeling moving around. Yeah, definitely does. Sets him back. He was in such a good.
Seriously, we're so immature. So immature. Here's the thing, though, Chris.
Oh, man.
To show you how immature we are, right? No one else laughs around there, right? Like you would think, particularly, hold on. At this point, someone in the gallery might say something.
In his rear end and had to have surgery to drain it and make it better. So he's been in the hospital the last couple of days.
No one laughs. Yeah.
I love when he says he's week to week. He's cheek to cheek.
So immature. Unbelievable. Just so immature.
Can I ask you something completely unrelated?
I hope so. I don't want to keep relating to that.
Chandler Morris, Virginia quarterback.
After they've gone through the transfer process to replace him. Yes, go ahead.
Suing for a 7th year of eligibility.
Yes.
Why?
Why not? Because here's why. Chris, let me just say this to you. I understand your frustration. If you are him and you happen to be in the era of early paying players and your best representation has told you that you're not likely to get drafted or have an opportunity to play football again, which means you would not play and receive any money. But maybe we can use an injury or junior college time and go to court and find a judge that says that we can play football because in college, somebody will pay you money to play football. As silly as it seems to you, all it takes is one attorney to go, oh, yeah, we can win this case. And you have no other avenue to be paid to play football. As crazy as it sounds to you, that's why.
Pretty sure there's other football leagues in there. The CFL up in Canada, the UFL's coming, or the UFL's here.
But what if, well, I mean, the UFL's rosters for the most part are set. That's not happening. And
injuries happen all the time.
Okay, but what if, yeah. Do you know who makes more money than Canadian Football League players, anybody in the UFL? Starting quarterbacks at P4 schools make significantly more money than anybody playing Canadian football or the UFL. So if that's an avenue to make whatever, made up number, 3, 4, 500,000, $600, $1 million.
25 years old.
Chris, I'm just telling you, that's likely what's happened here. Somebody goes, hey, based on these other cases, what do we have to lose? Yeah. That's how it happens.
You want to give away some tickets?
Yeah, what do we got?
We got 2 pair of Earth Day birthday tickets happening March 21st at the Central Florida Fairgrounds, headlined by 3 Days Grace.
When do you want to try to catch marshmallows in your mouth?
We can do it either this break. Should we do it this break?
No, we'll do it in.
No, next break?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do it next break.
All right, if you want the tickets Earth Day birthday, just tell Chris. I'm not, making any brain teasers today. If you can go, okay, then the first two people that text Chris and say, I want it. No, you have to type in, I want the tickets.
And I will say, I will take one texter, one stream.
All right, however you do it, man, it's fine.
One texter, one stream.
Right. And then if you'd like to set the over-under and how many marshmallows Chris catches in his mouth.
Maybe that should be what we do.
About 11:30, you can have fun with that as well. Why? Because we're basically begging you to go to the stream to watch for silly, stupid things like that. Plus, he may throw up because he doesn't like marshmallows, so that's worth checking out as well.
Yeah, I might.
All right. Evan Weston, our good friend, talks a little soccer with us next. Thanks, good folks at Elixir in downtown Orlando. Brought some food and some other goodies by today. Mick Ultra Neutral Vodka Seltzer, the official sponsors of WJR's Earth Day Birthday 2026, happening March 21st at the Central Florida Fairgrounds. You can get tickets. Go to WJR's website, check that out. And Elixir downtown Orlando, always great for food and after party, all that fun stuff. What'd you get today?
I had a pesto chicken. I don't know. Do you call it a sandwich or a burger? Because it's on buns and not like your typical bread.
How many bites did it take you, Chris?
I think I'm working
Big
on
biter?
I think I'm working on bite 6.
Bite 6. So Big
Bite
Biter's never doing a bite 5 or 6. So
No,
All right.
I can't compare with Big Biter
All right.
from the email.
Thanks to our friends at Elixir for bringing the food by. Evan Weston's our good friend, and I couldn't be happier for this guy because his hard work proves that things pay off. You can catch him now on the Apple broadcast for MLS coverage for many years. He's been doing Orlando City soccer. They got you traveling all over the country now, or what, man?
Yeah, I'll be in San Diego this weekend. In fact, if you watch Orlando Miami on Sunday night, I've got the game that's the nightcap right after that, San Diego St. Louis.
Is a certain guy going to play for Miami in the Orlando match?
It really seems like he is, Mark.
Really?
Yes. And in fact, I was skeptical because he picked up a hamstring injury a few weeks ago that actually required Miami to move a scheduled friendly that they'd contracted in Puerto Rico, where his appearance was what allowed them to get paid. They had to move that to literally tonight. So he's going to play 45 minutes tonight, they're saying, so that he is available on Sunday. He will make his Orlando debut on the 4th opportunity.
For him to get paid, or for him in Miami to get paid?
Team to get paid for appearing in the in the game.
Can I ask you to expand on that for the average sports fan that maybe doesn't follow, who will say, "What do you mean? Somebody paid the team and him to come play?" And the answer is yes.
So Lionel Messi, is a global attraction, and it is just like anything. When you book an act to come perform, the act needs to show up in order to get paid, right? So Messi is contracted to technically the league, but Inter Miami, and they have scheduled friendly matches, so exhibition games in their offseason, all over the place. They've been in Asia in previous years. This year they were in South America, and their last one was in Puerto Rico a couple of weeks ago. And in order for Miami to receive their booking fee for coming to play this game by whatever tourism agency is setting this up in Puerto Rico, Messi needs to appear. That is in the language of these deals. And if he's hurt, obviously he can't play. So they pushed it back a couple of weeks so that he would be available, and it actually got pushed into the season. So they play a friendly game in Puerto Rico tonight, and then they will come to Orlando and play the league game on Sunday.
All right, let me ask you just some thoughts on Orlando City. They opened up with a 2-1 loss to start the season, with this bigger international news regarding Antoine Griezmann, and a little bit of background, Evan, to share with the audience or a casual Orlando City fan, just who he is, what may be left in the tank of someone that's had a great success internationally, maybe on the back end of his career, but still playing at a high level, and what might be going on in certain deadlines that might collide or not mix. I know Orlando City would like to get a deal done quicker to get him here. He's playing on a team that's still in Champions League. What do we see happening here?
Yeah, this is really interesting. And I've had a feeling that Orlando City was targeting kind of a name brand star for their last open designated player spot. Remember, you get 3 slots on your roster in which you can spend whatever you want, transfer fee, salary, whatever you want on the player. Orlando has 2 of those slots filled. They opened up a 3rd when they moved Luis Muriel back to Colombia this offseason. So Antoine Griezmann is a really, really terrific player at the highest level. Lionel Messi was man of the match in the World Cup final in 2022. The World Cup man of the match in 2018 was Antoine Griezmann. He is a World Cup champion, one of the great players in the history of Atletico Madrid, which is the number 3 club in Spain behind Real Madrid and Barcelona. He actually played for Barcelona for a little while, was Messi's teammate. There is a considerable amount left in the tank, I would say. He's been moved into a sort of spot starter reserve role this season, and his production has actually remained there. In fact, he's scoring at a higher rate and is the team's leading scorer despite playing far fewer minutes than usual. And I think that the thing about Griezmann that would attract Orlando to him, he's not the sort of European star that would come over and you'd say, well, okay, he's not going to defend. You need to have guys around him that are going to run and make up for that. And no. He's played in a system for a long time at Atletico Madrid that is not all that different to what Orlando City does. They ask all 11 guys to defend. They defend from the front. And the great thing about Griezmann is he never gets injured. He has played over 3,500 minutes in 9 of the last 10 years. That is more than a full MLS regular season if you never get subbed off. He's had 1 2-month injury in the last 10 years. Takes incredible care of himself. He's a big American sports fan. I think you get the Paulo jersey swap pretty quickly here. He has wanted to be in MLS for a long time. Forever he was linked to LAFC. They signed Son Heung-min instead. I think you're looking at one of the 10 best players in the league as soon as he touches down. The deadline is March 26th. That's the date to circle. That's the end of the MLS primary transfer window. The hang-up there, Mark, as you mentioned, is that Atletico Madrid still has a lot to play for this year. They are in the Champions League round of 16, and in fact, they are likely to make the final of the Copa del Rey, which is Spain's version of the U.S. Open Cup, the Cup Orlando won in 2022. That's kind of every team in the country is eligible to enter. They smashed Barcelona in the first leg of the semifinal. They're up 4-0, so they're very likely to advance. The fans want him to stay. Diego Simeone, the manager, the other day said that he would give his blessing for Griezmann to leave now. It seems to be in Griezmann's court, whether or not he wants to do this now or after the World Cup. He's retired from France, so that doesn't matter, but he would have to come in the summer if he does not depart by March 26th. So that's the date to circle. I would expect a resolution on this in the next couple of weeks, one way or the other. I would, and this is just my speculation reading the tea leaves, I would expect him in Orlando at some point this year, whether it's in the next couple of weeks or in the summer, I think is still to be determined.
I think he'd be a great addition. Just one follow-up. Can you do something that makes that March 26th deadline not like absolute? Could you do some sort of loan? Can you do something to extend that, or some sort of an agreement that if he comes 3 weeks later, you're still okay?
No, you cannot.
Okay.
He has to be. The only way you can add players outside of the transfer window is if they are out of contract. And Griezmann has a contract with with Atletico Madrid until June of next year. So they would have to terminate his contract, which is not going to happen. Orlando is going to have to pay them a hefty transfer fee, and they're going to have to give Griezmann probably a record-breaking salary. I would imagine, again, just me guessing here, but he's on $13 million a year now. Kaká is the club record at $7 million. I would imagine he's going to need more than that. This is, whatever you slice it, this is a sizable commitment from the Wilfs. And so you understand why there's an urgency, especially with how last weekend went, to try and get this thing done quicker.
Can I be fair? I don't think it's overly critical. This franchise needs something like this because, we've talked over the years. There's some things you get excited about. It seems like they've stalled a little bit as far as a big name. They've developed guys that have gone elsewhere because it made sense of their part of the career. This team needs a jolt in the arm of a player that can still play in this league, I think, at a high level.
Oh, I agree. I agree completely. We've had this conversation, right, where and we saw this offseason where they moved on from a lot of core players like Pedro Galese, Rodrigo Schlegel, Kyle Smith, Cesar Araujo, guys who've been here for 5, 6, 7 years. They're resetting. We saw some of the, what happens when you have to transition eras a little bit last weekend. The first half was not what you want to see, obviously, but I think they recognize that, okay, this is the time to go out and make a splash and announce ourselves as keeping up with the Joneses, so to speak. And look, if Thomas Muller can go play in Vancouver, Antoine Griezmann could certainly come play in Orlando. There is no reason this can't be an attractive destination, great ownership, great place to live, no state income tax. We've attracted players like Kaká and Nani in the past, and Griezmann would seem to be have his head really turned by the prospect of coming here. And look, he and Messi, there are some rumors that the two of them
maybe did not get along great when they were teammates. And for them to be rivals would be a really, really saucy storyline.
Tell me, and we're just one match in, Miami, look, I mean, they did what they did. They won. Are they overwhelming favorites again, or is the gap to Miami not as deep? And how deep does MLS go of true champion contenders?
Well, it's interesting because they are overwhelming favorites to 28 of the other teams. They are not to LAFC, who blew them out last weekend.
Right.
I think there are two alpha dogs at the top of the league. You got to remember about, is Son as great a player as Messi? No, of course not. But Son is 5 years younger than Messi. He's 5 years closer to his prime. And you put him with Denny Bouanga, who just signed a contract extension with LAFC. That is devastating. And I would expect that those two teams are, I think overwhelming is the right word in their conferences. We did see with Miami last weekend, they made a lot of moves this offseason, and they got a lot of praise for the moves they made. But when you change a lot in a soccer team, it does take time to get everybody to gel. It really is the sport, I think, where fit and chemistry matters most. And so Orlando might be catching them at a good time. The thing is that Orlando is also going through this process. So it's actually pretty difficult to tell you what's going to happen on Sunday, especially with Messi making his first appearance in Orlando. He has a contentious history against Orlando City, as we know. Again, on paper, Miami looks like a team that should break every record. I think they have to win the Champions Cup. That is a mandate that seems to have come down from ownership. I would expect consequences if they don't. And then you've got, Leagues Cup and MLS Cup still to come. I expect that their aim is to win everything. I think that's commendable ambition. When you have Messi in your team, you should expect to win everything. They finally got the big one last year after 3 years of trying. And so we'll see. I do think that this weekend, though, is not going to be what this game would be in August, for instance. These two teams are still very much figuring out their best group, figuring out what they're going to look like. And Praha will figure that out for Orlando. Miami will figure it out as well. But these things take time. And so I think there's sort of a kind of a wild card X factor notion to this game this weekend.
Catch him all season long on MLS, on Apple. You don't need the paywall anymore. It's there if you got Apple. And couldn't be happier for Evan, whose hard work paying off to now be recognized, being part of the MLS play-by-play team with Apple. Safe travels. We'll talk again as the season continues. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Mark. I really appreciate it.
Evan Weston with some good stuff there. History lesson coming up, which Chris will, I think, like the story, but may not know the true background because perception's something else. If you go to the stream right now on YouTube or Twitter to watch this show, Chris will be forced to eat marshmallows next.
All right, Mark, you're up.
I'm up.
Yep, you're on the stream.
All right. Okay, so up on the stream, Chris is coming in. And Chris hates marshmallows. So here he comes. All right. This is a bag of marshmallows. Okay, Chris is going to come sit over here. You can sit in my seat. Oh, just don't cough. Oh my God. Oh. Don't sit in my seat. Oh my God. Move over. Oh, bro. I got to move the camera over. Just don't sit anywhere near my stuff here. All right? That's disgusting. Okay. Here's a bag of marshmallows, okay? I'm going to use this paper so my hands do not touch the marshmallows. Here, you open the bag. Okay. Well, I don't want you to, you know. Okay. 10 marshmallows I'm going to throw at Chris. Let's see how many he can catch, okay?
How many do you think I can get?
2.
Wow. Bad
Okay.
throwing.
You ready? Okay. I'm over here. Just you see it, okay? No hands on it. Go for it.
God.
Okay. You ready?
How are you supposed to throw that?
I don't know. It's a good question. All right. Ready? First one.
Ah.
Throw wasn't very good. Second one. Ready?
All right, let's go.
Oh, stuck on the paper. Here. Let me have my hand. That was not bad. 0 for 2.
How?
He's eating
I
it.
don't know why I just ate it.
He's eating it.
Terrible.
There you go. 4. Oh, all right. That's 1. Not bad. This 5 or 6?
5.
5. All right. This is 5?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, he's got 2. All right. I like that. Here we go. You know, they're hitting you right in the mouth right there.
I know. Not the big biter.
What is this, 8 or 9?
8.
Is that 3?
3.
Oh, wow. Okay, here we go. You can't be in Blue Man Group. I know that. Okay.
Last one.
Last one. Bonus, okay?
All right, bonus.
Ready? Bonus one. Ready? Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Hey! Stop it! Cut it out! There you go.
Mark, you're so immature.
You can't get this.
You're so
entertainment
immature.
elsewhere. Oh, I got to clean this up now. All right.
Oh, man. I'm out of breath.
How many did you eat? 5? 4? 4?
3, I think.
3?
Oh. Ah.
What? They don't hurt.
No, my
your
neck still hurts.
Oh, your neck hurts. You ate them though, huh?
I did.
Is it gross?
Yes. They're
You gotta like
disgusting.
wash it down with something right now?
I finished my cherry Coke.
Uh,
I have to go buy a Mountain Dew.
wow. All right. History lesson coming up just a bit.
All right, boys and girls, take a seat and listen up as we take a trip down memory lane with Marc Daniels in this week's history lesson.
You all right, Chris?
Got to get that marshmallow taste out of my mouth.
For those who are watching on the stream, Chris, 4? Was it 4 or 3?
3.
3. About 3 marshmallows out of 10, and then an all-out marshmallow fight broke out in the studio. You don't get this stuff anywhere else. How cheesy can we make it? I beg you to watch the stream. Today's history lesson, Chris, I think you know a little bit about the story, but a lot of people don't know what actually happened. And it's something that happened in this state back in 1989. And let me walk you through it, because I think people have a different view of a story. The headline said, Jones buys Cowboys, fires Landry. And the perception most people have is that Jerry Jones, the oil tycoon, comes in, he buys the famous brand, and the first thing he does is he fires the legendary Tom Landry and brings in Jimmy Johnson. And that's how the relationship starts with Jerry Jones and Cowboy fans. But there's a much deeper story than just what the public perception really is. Brad Shams, the longtime radio voice of the Dallas Cowboys, he's written books and covered the Cowboys for decades. He remains a very popular TV personality also in the area. And he tells the story and has written about the stories that is not exactly what people think really happened. In 1986, Tom Landry tells Tex Schramm. Now, Gil Brandt and Tex Schramm ran the Cowboy front office, president and GM, and that's how the Cowboys were structured. In 1986, Landry tells Tex Schramm, get ready, because I'm likely going to retire, and I don't want the team to be caught short prepared for the next person to take over. And Paul Hackett is a young assistant coach with the 49ers. Tom Landry hires him with the idea that Landry's going to handpick his replacement. And the announcement is that Hackett's going to come in. They do it right when the NBA All-Star game is in Dallas and try to take some of the headlines away. It says Cowboys hire Hackett. And anything football in Dallas is going to get headlines over even the NBA All-Star game. And the speculation is that Landry is going to retire soon, and he wants to tell everybody that, except something happens. Tom Landry, at a press conference, which the Cowboys anticipate him retiring, says he's not going anywhere, and he's not quitting. Well, Gil Brandt and Tex Schramm are not happy about it. They feel as if Landry purposely misled them. Clint Murchison owns the Cowboys, and the deal that he had with Tex Schramm, Gil Brandt, and Tom Landry is they're all three connected. That's it. These guys run the Cowboys, and you can't get a run. Can't get rid of one without getting rid of the other. Other people came along and offered more money to buy the Dallas Cowboys, and finally, Bum Bright took over. But he kept Tom Landry, even though he didn't like Tom Landry. Why? Because you can't fire Tom Landry as a legendary Cowboy coach. The Cowboys got stale. The Cowboys got old. And several times, Tex Schramm and Gil Brandt realized that the Cowboys need to move forward. The Cowboys need to be ready to go. And do you know who the Cowboys wanted to hire, Chris, before Jerry Jones came in?
As the new coach or the owner?
The new coach.
New coach. I'm trying to think back to the documentary. I don't know if they said it in there.
Tex Schramm had Marty Schottenheimer, not just on his radar, in town, interviewed, deal done, ready to go, not put pen to paper yet. And Schottenheimer was going to replace Tom Landry. You got to go back. This is, mid now, late 80s. And Marty Schottenheimer is a pretty well-respected name, and he's going to be the guy. Except Tom Landry refused to retire and did that press conference in between Hackett and Schottenheimer, used his power and his popularity in Dallas to nix the deal. Well, the Cowboys get stale, the Cowboys get old, and Landry's last team goes 3-13, one of the worst Cowboy teams ever. Right about that time, that young, brash, wannabe owner of the National Football League bought the Dallas Cowboys when there was a price that finally was met. And Jerry Jones buys the Dallas Cowboys. And Jerry Jones is told by the people that run the Cowboys, you have to fire Tom Landry. Jerry Jones listens, hears what the suggestion is, and he agrees and says, listen, to Tex Graham and Gil Brandt, I'll fire him. I'll do it. And they're like, no. He says, no, I'm the owner. I'll do it. That was not the plan to start. But Jerry said, I'll do it. Let's go. They get on the plane, and they're going to go fly to where Tom Landry is. He's playing golf at Lakeway, where he liked to spend his offseason playing some golf. And Gil and Tex are nervous how it's going to go. And Jerry Jones is like, no big deal. He flies down. They meet with Landry. And Jerry Jones fires him. Not in a rude way, just says, look, I think it's time for a change and a new direction. What shocked Landry was that he didn't get a chance to do the press conference and go out his way. Jerry Jones, and Chris, whatever you think of Jerry Jones, according to not just Brad Sham, but others and their versions of it, stood there, smiled, made it very clear. Tom, making a change, can let you go. Stunned silence across the room. Landry expressed disappointment. Wish it could have gone a different way. Jerry Jones got up and shook his hand and said, let's go. And that was it. Then he hired Jimmy Johnson to be his football coach. The story still resonating today is that people think Jerry Jones bought the Dallas Cowboys, and the first thing he did was fire Tom Landry. The simple fact is the GM and the president wanted to make a change 4 years earlier. Landry had suggested a name, hired someone that he wanted to groom to be his replacement. But then he pulled the rug out on everybody and said, nah, I'm good. Then the GM and president said, we got to go really make a decision here. Let's go get that Schottenheimer guy. All right, we got it. Come on in, interview. He's the guy. Can't fire Tom. Can't fire Tom. The hat. And Schottenheimer doesn't get the job. They finally convinced Jerry Jones, though, when he came in. And Jerry said, no problem, let's go. Flew down there, made the decision. But, Chris, I think you'll agree, most football people believe that Jerry Jones was so cold and ruthless that how could you do this to Tom Landry after 29 years? The reality is he just did what two other guys couldn't do. And it's like, I'll do it. Let's go. And that's how Jerry Jones fired Tom Landry. But it was not his call initially when he got to Dallas.
Just so crazy to think about it. Like, Landry, the hat, everything was Staubach in the 70s, and Jerry Jones comes in. Oh, man. Gives me goosebumps.
But Brad Sham has written about and talked about it, that the press conference, which Landry agrees to, they think he's going to announce his retirement, and he stuns everybody by saying, I'm not going anywhere. You know, it's kind of like Wolf of Wall Street, you know. And it's like, wait, what? And then that completely turned the two against Landry. But they knew that the public perception was you can't do this. And Sham tells a great story, and it's a great point. The Cowboys at the end of Landry's run were not good. But some of the same fans that would call his radio show and complain about Tom Landry quickly took Landry's side when the new owner comes in and fire. You can't fire the legend. And Sham's like, wait a minute. You guys were calling my show for years wanting Landry out, and now the new guy comes in, and now you're saying it was wrong to do it this way.
It's because he's the new guy.
But Jerry Jones was ruthless before he owned the Dallas Cowboys, and he goes, sometimes you got to just make the quick decision, and the decision is got to go.
I mean, it led to 3 Super Bowls in 4 years.
But if you ask most people, hey, what do you know about Tom Landry getting fired? It's like, yeah, Jerry Jones came in and decided he's fired. The guys behind the scenes running the Cowboys tried to do it for 3 years to make a change, and Landry wouldn't go. We come back, put a wrap on the Thursday show, table tomorrow's program next.
Time for the latest news, gossip, trends, and off-the-wall stories. Trends.
That's the craziest thing I ever heard.
Pat Riley suggested when the Lakers honored him that coaches should go back to wearing suits. Ime Udoka, the coach of the Rockets, said no when asked by the media and said 87% of coaches are against it.
I'm fine with them not wearing suits. They don't need to wear suits. Be comfortable.
See somebody come out like a set of overalls, you know. Hey, what's up?
Getting ready for a hoedown.
Oh, Chris. Don't
do this.
Ruben Bain and Cassius Howell at 30 and 7/8 inches and 30 and a quarter inches in arm length would have the shortest arms for an edge rusher in the first round since 1999. That's it. Throw the Bain video out.
Guy's not worth the first round pick.
Forget the dominating plays. He's got short arms. That's it.
First one of 2026.
Probably dropped to fourth round now. What?
First one of 2026.
First one.
First overreaction to measurements.
Yeah. Giancarlo Stanton of the Yankees says he's still battling elbow pain and fights to get out there. He said, I can't even open up a bottle of water or bag of potato chips.
It's not Giancarlo's fault.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Is it?
The only break that the Yankees get is the Marlins to this day still pay $10 million of his 25. You know, he did say that he wants to play a full season, which for him is 86 games. It's kind of like, well, they play 162. Hey, that's their schedule. I'm playing a full season. Well, 160. No. 86. He didn't say that, but they like to play full season and then say, hey, the pain's sometimes so bad I can't open up a bag of potato chips. How about putting the chips down? What about an apple?
The apple might hurt his teeth.
I don't want to know what he's taking, okay? I have no idea. Don't want to know. Yeah. Anyway. All right, Chris. See you tomorrow.
I'll be here.
If you miss any of today's program, the audio version is available where you get your favorite podcast and type of the Beat of Sports on demand to get access to the entire show. When you're there, subscribe, get it downloaded, listen when it's convenient for you. If you're going to watch this show, go to 96onthegame.com, go to YouTube, put in 96 on the game, click on the 96 on the game icon, the live button, and you can watch it there. You can also catch it live on Twitter as well. Thanks for those that did that today. We appreciate it. See you for Busy Friday show tomorrow. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Mark.
Chris produced on Marc Daniels, the Beat of Sports.